Good morning, Technoscope, Scoper Nation, and everybody on YouTube. Um, Despite the title that was on there, this is not a test. I had to change that. I forgot to change the title. Um, this is pretty much something I thought I'd try out for a little while. Um, to kick off my weeks, Sunday mornings. If you don't know this, I also produce a show in this room, which is what the setup back here is for. Um, it's called the Sports Cave, and it happens on my other channel, hashtag champs.tv. Um, I set up, I'm pretty much dedicated to that all Sunday. So coming in Monday morning, I finish up the things that I have to do for the Sports Cave, which includes making sure that it was syndicated to the right places. And then I go into my work for Technoscope, which I'm running very late today. I haven't done much of anything other than set this up. And it's a trash truck outside. The point of this video is basically just to do like a what happened this week on the channel. Kind of introduce you, tell you what I'm going to be working on for this week, assuming that I have enough time. And just kind of go over things that are happening with Technoscope and other things. Also, if you don't know, what's going to be a big part of these videos, I repost a lot of news articles that I come across. So if you're following on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, you see those articles all the time. Last week I was pretty non-existent in that. I only posted something like 6 or 7 articles because last week was very busy for me. But I usually post those articles, and I just want to talk about a few of those here. Sorry about that. I want to talk about a few of those here, and I'll get into those in a second. Before I do that, I do want to do one thing. Let's see. Sorry, I'm working with 2 computers here. I'm trying to get straight which ones is which. The first thing I want to go over is about 2 days ago, the night before last, we hit 1 million views on this channel. So that's huge. That's something I want to thank you all a great deal for, especially for the number of subscribers I have. To have 1 million views on a channel this small is amazing. There are channels that are a lot bigger than this channel in terms of subscribers, but don't have 1 million views. So that's something I want to thank everyone who comes by and watches any of my channel, my videos. Excuse me. I want to thank you for that. I know a lot of my stuff is tutorials, content, how-to, or reviews, things like that. So you may not be as inclined to click subscribe on this channel because it's usually just like a one-time thing. You found something that I provided that you needed, and that's cool because that's exactly what this channel was really for. It was meant more to help people more than it was to build a community, but I do try to support the community that has grown here. But I just wanted to thank you again for those million views on this channel. And of course, like I said, I had a few articles I wanted to go over, so we'll jump into that. This week, before I get into these, one of the videos that I definitely have to do, and I'm probably going to do as soon as I end this stream, is an update on the 3D printing video. This head here for Frankenstein is made out of a type of PLA. I'll see if I can get it to do it. It's a type of PLA that actually changes colors. So when it's cool like this, it's been sitting in this room, which is roughly 74, 73 degrees. Excuse me. Actually, probably a little warmer in here because of the computers and stuff. But when you warm it up, and I'm not sure how warm it has to be, but when it gets over a certain temperature, I don't know if you can see that or not, it starts to shift colors. And when this thing printed, I guess I should have got some warm water or something to put on this. When it actually printed, the entire thing was all green. It was like a bright neon green. So if you warm it up, I don't want to break that off till the video. The thing starts to change colors. So I'll demonstrate that more in the video that I'm making. But it's pretty cool. This color changing PLA that I use to print that, as well as I have the brain that actually sits inside of that, and the brain I print out of a different PLA that actually glows in the dark. And I'll be demonstrating that as well. So it's like a bright, it's like the standard glow in the dark stuff from your childhood. It's green when it glows. But yeah, that's the video that I'll be working on. I have to get that stuff out of the way because that's Halloween stuff, and Halloween is tomorrow. So then we'll be moving into November and all that craziness. Anyway, keep it in. I need to find a better position for this mic. A few things I wanted to go over. By the way, if you want to communicate with me during this video, you can use the chat. I can see the chat in front of me. It also shows up on the live stream in the box that's on the right. Just show you real quick. So you can see that anything that you leave in the chat will show up over there. I also have a setup because of the way that this is set up to do the podcast that we host on Sunday. I can actually take phone calls as well. Not sure if I'm going to be doing that for this stream, but we'll see how that goes. But anyway, if you are really passionate and you'd like to call in, let me know and I'll tell you what phone number to call. The big stories for this last week, if you didn't catch that this week on Tech, TWOT, I'm not gonna say any more about that, but one of the big stories, this one just dropped this morning. Best Buy is charging $100 extra for iPhone X and claims that it's the benefit of the customers. The idea is that they will have stock when other people don't. Now we all know that people who use iPhone, well, I'm not gonna say I use iPhone, so I'm not gonna say just people that use iPhone, but iPhone loyalists will pay that extra $100, and Best Buy knows this, and they just basically trying to make extra money. They're probably still gonna sell out just like everybody else, but they'll be the last resort, so they'll be the last ones to sell out. But if you don't know, or if you're unsuspecting or anything, you're going to be paying $100 extra for whatever model you buy from Best Buy. So just keep that in mind. There's not really much more to say about that. I just thought it was kind of ballsy for them to do that. Of course, we saw GameStop did the same thing with the SNES Classic. They decided they were going to let people pre-order about half of their stock, and then the other half they threw up on their other website. I think it's thinkgeek.com, I'm not sure. And they bundled it with a bunch of junk that they need to get rid of, and they're charging like 2 to 3 times the price for it, just to make extra money, I guess. So they're getting rid of their junk and they're making extra money. So Best Buy decided to do the same thing. So just keep that in mind for anybody who wants to buy iPhone X. This one I thought was really big. I'm not sure if this was last week or the week before, but I saw this on the Level 1 Tech's weekly video. Mobile phone companies appear to be providing your number and location to anyone that pays. This is pretty crazy. And I was like, okay, I thought this was one of those conspiracy theory things. But then Windows said that he actually tried it for himself on one of his phones, and it actually pulled up his data. All you have to do is go into this tool that AT&T provides and type in your phone number, and it brings up your information, your address, your contact info, your name, IP address, browsing history, and all this other stuff. And they're basically selling this to companies. Um, it was in a response. I forgot what he said it was. It was in a response to something else that they wanted to do that people thought was a bad idea. So they scrapped the other plan and came up with this. Like this is any better, but this is ridiculous. But oh man, the bottom line is don't do any kind of strange browsing or any kind of weird data things on your cell phone unless you're using a VPN. I do have a VPN for my phone, for my line. I'm signed up with a VPN that I'm not going to recommend because they were caught recently providing data to the FBI. So I myself might need to find a different one, but just something to be aware of. This story here, this lady is the daughter of a former Apple engineer. Now, she did a video. It's like her dad was showing off the iPhone X to the family, and I believe she said they were actually at the Apple campus, like in the cafeteria or something. And she pulls out her phone and starts recording, him showing the phone and demoing and all that stuff. She's kind of she's a YouTuber herself. It looks like it says she has 3.8. It's really small text on my screen. Sorry. Okay, 9.8 thousand subscribers. So she's a little bit bigger than this channel here. She pulls out her phone, starts recording her dad showing off this phone, and she posted on her YouTube channel. And like many videos do, they're just kind of sitting there, and then all of a sudden it just blew up overnight. So I'm guessing somebody shared it on Reddit or something. The video hit like 2 million views when Apple got wind of it, and Apple was not happy. Now, like I said, I'm kind of torn on this because it's one of those things. Like he shouldn't have let her record it, but at the same time, I don't think he actually even knew that she was recording the video. He was just like showing it, and she just kind of pull out her phone, start recording, and then post it to YouTube. Not really even telling him what's going on. Apple ends up firing the guy, and what's crazy is that he was one of their well-liked engineers, and I forgot how many years she said he had been working there. He's like he had a lot of clout in the company, let's put it that way. And because of company policy, I guess, they decided, hey, we're just going to let you go because you let this leak. And I personally think that's crazy. One of my biggest complaints and biggest problems with the corporate world is they're willing to shoot themselves in the foot so hard just to stick with company policy. And it doesn't matter, if it's good for the company or if it's bad for them, if it's good for the employee or anyone else. If they set a company policy, it's usually set in stone and they follow it no matter what. And it's one of the biggest things I really hate about large corporations. They will shoot themselves in the foot. They will shoot themselves in the head, really, if it's against company policy. And honestly, I see no reason why they needed to let this engineer go off of her video, because if anything, it's getting them more exposure. People are looking for iPhone. I'm gonna call it X because I don't like Apple, and I'm not gonna say I don't like Apple. I don't like their policies and the way they run some things at their company. But the iPhone X, it got them more exposure, and it just plays into the hands of the people that are going to hand over money to them. So why would you fire this guy over this? I mean, reprimand him, put it on his record, dock his pay or something. But come on, I mean, seriously, they did not need to fire this guy over this. That's ridiculous. Seriously. This one right here kind of caught my eye. If you've been following any podcasts, any news stories or anything over the last few weeks or so, that mining, cryptocurrency mining inside your browser has become a thing. The first website that everybody heard of doing it was Pirate Bay, and I don't know if they were the first company to do it, but they were the first that was outed to the public. It was the first that the public noticed. They did a test run, and they learned some things off their test run because their initial test run had the Chrome browser basically, just pinging the CPU and running it at 100% max while the browser window was open, and basically taking advantage of all the traffic they have, using all those people to mine things. Now, I want to say I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that they're doing this. I don't like the way that they did it. I prefer companies to mine in my web browser over ads that take over the screen or constantly refresh the screen while I'm trying to read something, or all the other annoying things that they do. If they wanted to use a little bit of my CPU power to mine coins while I'm reading it or whatever, that's fine. Pirate Bay, from what I've heard, Pirate Bay has actually gone full 100% traffic with this now, but they're not doing it. They're not running 100% of your CPU like they were before, and that's fine. I don't mind stuff like that. Every company can do that if they want to. But what this article is about is basically there's now a tool for websites that use WordPress to integrate this into their website. So now this is going to go pretty much worldwide, and you're going to see it everywhere. Now what I've heard is that Google is supposed to be looking into integrating things into Chrome so that you have to opt in, or you have some kind of control over the mining that's going on and how they do it. So this is a developing story. We'll see more of it. But like I said, I still prefer go ahead and mine in the background, as long as I don't have to see tons of ads on the screen and it's not taking over the website. And this is also, keep in mind, guys, this is bad for Google. The web, the internet is more or less run by Google and Facebook. And if we go from a ad-based platform to cryptocurrency platform overnight, this is very bad for Google. This could be very bad for YouTube. This could be very bad for a lot of people. So just know that change is coming, and we'll have to keep on top of that. Let's see. For my gamers, a couple things. For console gamers, let me clarify that. I also want to say one thing. I put a second capture card in Sledgehammer, so that means that one of my 1080 Ti's is not being used at the moment. I'm thinking about doing another build really soon, and I'm actually thinking about starting a kind of like a side, not really a side, but a side business of building and selling computers. This might be the first one to go. I'll talk about more about that later as I figure out the plans. But anyway, back to the boring stuff. Microsoft discontinued the Kinect sensor. Everybody saw this coming. I don't know what to say. It's a nice technology. It's a great technology. It led to a lot of changes in how cameras are being made and used. I'm sure it led to the sensor bar that's inside the iPhone X. They did a lot of things with this, and the Kinect is an advanced technology that was never utilized properly, in my opinion. It has more application outside of Xbox than it does inside of Xbox. There were never any really good games for it. They kind of touched on some good things they could do with it, but they never really expanded with it. Even despite everybody on Xbox One having it, but they had to remove it from the default package because the Xbox One was so expensive that nobody wanted to buy it when it included the Kinect, so they made it optional, which kind of spelled the end of the road for it. But they, like I said, they weren't really developing good games for it anyway. They had a few out there in the beginning back on 360, but it never went anywhere. I do want to buy one. I don't have one for I have the 360 version. I don't have one for the Xbox One. Not for the Xbox One. I want to buy it because I might later down the road start developing something that needs a tool like this. I don't know. Hopefully they'll go on clearance soon. So I'll keep a lookout for that. If you want one, also you should keep in mind the newest update to the Xbox introduced a new feature, something that I actually contacted Microsoft about back in, I want to say 2007, somewhere around there, a long time ago. They were releasing these games. If you remember, before the Kinect came out, Microsoft had a camera for the Xbox 360. It was basically like a webcam, and it would let you interact with games similar to how the Kinect worked. And I told them, I was like, well, I don't want to buy this because I just went out not too long ago and spent $80 on whatever Microsoft webcam they had at the time, the little round ones with the focus ring on the front. And I was like, I should be able to use this. This is made by your company. This is the same exact company. Why can't I use this on the Xbox 360? They said that's a good idea. Here's this form. Fill this out and send it in. It's some kind of suggestion form thing that they sent me to. So here we are 10 years later, and they finally released the feature with the fall update to use any webcam that you have on the Xbox One for, similar things, and to do the voice commands that you will be losing without having to connect. So I don't know. It's something they should have did a long time ago, in my opinion, but the feature is there now. And this one right here. Oh, they also announced the first 13 original Xbox games that are compatible with the Xbox One. This is the list right here, and I thought they had picture art. I guess not. Some decent games, especially Ninja Gaiden. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. Everybody's always told me it's two different things. Ninja Gaiden Black, Crimson Skies. Those two games in particular, I look forward to playing. I don't think I played Fusion Frenzy. I was never crazy about that. I've heard Prince of Persia was pretty good, but I never played that either. But the reason I brought this article up wasn't because, oh yay, we have to play these, getting close to 20-year-old games. The reason I brought this up was because the Xbox One is this platform that I think a lot of people have missed the concept on. The Xbox One Project Scorpio, Xbox One X, is not a replacement for the Xbox One. It is an iteration. And in my personal opinion, what Microsoft is lining up to do is create this system where from now on, we're just going to have iterations of the Xbox. I don't think the Xbox One X is the final version. I think there's going to be more to come. And I think my Google Home is tripping. I think from now on, what they're going to do is every several years, they're just going to release a new iteration of the Xbox One. And what this does is it means that from now on, you have a system that's very similar to how PCs work, where no matter how many consoles they release, you can always play your backwards compatible games, going all the way back to the original Xbox. And I think that's what the idea and the plan is with this. I don't think there's going to be a new platform for the Xbox One from here on out. Whereas Sony has said they're going to come out with the PlayStation 5, and more than likely it won't be backwards compatible with the 4, which is not backwards compatible with the 3 or the 2 or any of that other stuff. You can't play those old games if you get their their service. I can't remember what it's called right now. But you can't just stick a disc from a 3 into a 4 and expect it to work. But I think that's what Microsoft is attempting to accomplish. They want to make the entire library going all the way back to the original, back to 2001 the first day it released, when I bought Halo, the original Halo, and the original console. They want everything from there on to be compatible with the Xbox One. And that's a great goal to have. That's something they should do. And I think they've learned that lesson from PCs, because PC gamers always tout that's the thing that you can do with PCs. And you should be able to do that with consoles as well, because consoles are just a form of PC. Now, they got crazy with the 360 and the PS3. Both of those use non-standard platforms for whatever reason. I'm not really sure what was going on there. But the original Xbox and the Xbox One are just PC, or basically computers that have been conformed to be a console. So that's why I brought this article up. I just think that's the future of Microsoft, and that's where they're going. But anyway, I'm gonna get to work on doing these videos. I am, like I said, guys, I've been behind pretty much this entire year. I need to make this video on 3D printing. I have two, they're not sponsored videos, but two product reviews that I need to do. That I was sent the product, I wasn't paid for it. One on RGB LEDs and one on a hard drive dock. I need to get those out pretty quickly. And I need to really ramp up production, because November and December is crunch time for YouTubers. So I need to go ahead and just start cranking out these videos. So I'm gonna go ahead and start working on that. If you guys have any questions, I see nobody's left anything in chat. According to my analytics, there's 3 people watching, but I don't have anything. So if you have any questions or anything, let me know. I guess I've done enough tours of the office. Nobody's really asked any questions about how this stuff works, but I am going to start doing a YouTube series. Let me see. I don't think you can see, but right here. Oh, that's not the live video. Okay, so all right. So right here is my mixer. This mixer has actually gotten pretty famous lately. I bought this mixer back in early 2015. And I didn't really use it for a while, but I knew what it could do, which is why I picked this specific mixer. And then other YouTubers started saying, hey, does anybody have a recommendation for a nice mixer? And one of those YouTubers was Barnacles. And I recommended this mixer to him. It's the MG10XU. And he went out and bought it. And he did a video with it. And the video did great. And other YouTubers saw it and they started buying it too. So it's almost become like the official YouTube mixer. It works great for our stream. It lets me take phone calls and integrates with the computer. All this stuff. It's a great mixer. So things like that will be in the YouTube series. I'll cover cameras, lighting, things that I've done here. Most of the stuff that I do is on the cheaper side, so it's not out of the question for most YouTubers or game streamers and things like that. Maybe this microphone, I got it on sale half off for $200 when it's normally $400. So maybe not the microphone, but a lot of the other stuff is on the cheaper side. The setup back here, those lights were like $30 a piece or something like that. The microphones that I'm using came with that one right there. Came with a studio combo for Focusrite. So if you have any questions about anything, let me know. Super Dell, what's up, man? Oh, one other thing. Okay, so we're kicking off this other channel. If you don't know, I already have like 3 channels in operation. So that link that I just left in the chat right there, or I'll leave it elsewhere for people who aren't in the live stream. Um, this channel is going to be a channel for people who like things like Marvel Universe, who like comic books, things like people who are interested in childhood things like Lego and all that pretty much nerd stuff. So it's not just going to be me. In fact, I'm rarely going to be on this channel as well. Like on hashtag champs, or you probably hardly ever see me on there. But I produce it. But this channel will be a few friends of mine. We're actually going to do an intro video. We were going to do it last week, but it never worked out. But we're going to do an intro video on Technoscope. And it will also it'll be live streamed on Technoscope. You'll be able to ask questions. You'll be able to call in, whatever you want to do. And then the actual videos and production will go on the other channel. One of the other channels that I have is called Totally Unpacked, which is a review product channel. But we're doing a specific segment for this kind of content, which will go on Nerd Unpacked is the name of the channel. Or the URL is nerd.totallyunpacked.tv. So if you're into that kind of stuff, make sure you stay tuned for that. I think that's pretty much it for right now. If there's more demand for these videos, I'll do them more often. But for right now, the goal is to do them every Monday morning. It would have been earlier today, but I was still setting up stuff. So this I'm not even sure this is completely how it's going to be. There may be more stuff to come. There may be changes to the layout. There may be differences going forward. Okay. I'm not sure how to say your name. China Sam. Okay. Thanks for watching from work. Don't get fired watching me though. Hopefully this is the first of many videos to come. A lot of you, if you've been around here, a lot of you will know that I've been trying to kick off a dedicated podcast on this channel called The IC Show. It just hasn't worked out yet. I don't want to do it by myself. I want to do it with at least one other co-host. There are several bigger YouTubers in Dallas that I need to try to get in contact with. There are a lot of people in Dallas that are smaller YouTubers that I'd love to collab with, but a lot of them either aren't on that level yet or they don't want to be. So I'm not sure where the IC show is going to go for now. But right now, I am going to do this morning podcast. I don't know. I don't really know what to say about that. If more develops, I'll let you know about that later on. But this right here is more or less what's going on in tech, what happened over the last week, where we're going in the future. And this week is going to be concentrating on getting the 3D printing video out of the way and starting on those other two videos. I don't know. I think that's about it. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this live stream up. If you have any questions or anything, go ahead and leave those below. Guys, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You've been seeing it's scrolling around the ticker right now. Just go ahead and follow me on those. You can contact me on those anytime you want to. I usually reply within 30 minutes to an hour. They all go straight to my phone. So if I'm on the phone when you send a message, you'll get a reply right away. So, without further ado, I guess that'll end this video, and I'll hopefully see you all next week. If you have any suggestions or anything, let me know. Have a good day, guys.